Hi everybody, this is Joe. I'm coming to you from my Houston, Texas garden here in the middle of October. I've got a cottage garden and I've got a lot of butterfly hosts as well. And so I thought I would check in. We've had an awful drought and a lot of heat. Today is the first day. It's been nice outside, really. And I thought I'd look at what looks good, both perennials and annuals. So the first thing I've got to show you is this amazing Cape plumbago. It is so beautiful and it has been blooming non-stop since the spring. It doesn't have show any signs of stopping. The other thing that's doing well in various and sundry places in my yard are coneflowers. Several different varieties. That's pretty parasols. Now it's gotten really small. This got flooded by a sprinkler that did not shut off, and so it's very stunted compared to what it was a couple of weeks ago. But I've got coneflowers in the front yard and on the other side of the yard that are also doing well. So that's been pretty reliable all year. This rose is Excellence von Schubert, and you can see right there it's still got some blooms on it, and it actually has a lot of buds on it, and I'm hoping that will look really nice, you know, in the next couple of weeks. The star of the show, of course, is this purple Salvia leucantha, Mexican bush sage. It has looked fantastic for weeks now. We wait so long, all summer long, for that thing to bloom, and finally in the fall we are rewarded. And then one of the other things that's looking beautiful, things that are blooming so wonderfully this fall, are all the big grasses. Let's see. Let's go take you back around here. Some of the annuals that are doing well, these are newly seeded about a month ago. This is a zinnia called Double Raspberry Ripple. I think it's super sweet. And I've got a couple more coming up. And some I bought at the store. And these little zinnias have been going strong all year. I kind of clipped back a lot of things, but this is just a tiny little white zinnia. I don't know the name of it. I've been growing it for years from previous year's seeds. And then again, I hit the store. Some stores still had, this is before all the mums came out, still had some zinnias and some petunias that I could put in here. And so mostly now it's pumpkins and mums, and I wasn't able to find anything pretty. I don't want to leave the bees and the butterflies without anything. Here's the thing that's always covered in bees. This is just a basil. I let it, you can see how huge it is, and I've let it flower, and I just keep clipping it back. As long as there's a flower on the end, I will leave it. And last week I watched a single bee go to every single flower on this entire bush. One of the other things that's doing really well is actually something I was thinking about digging up, but now it looks so good I might not dig it up, is this autumn sage. This is a Salvia greggii white version, and it's very persnickety, but all of a sudden it's come back of all this new growth. I was ready to rip this all out, and it's got lots of bees on it and butterflies on it, and it's looking pretty great. And so it's a lot of blooming, so I'm real happy with that as a fall plant. And then you can see there's more coneflower. I am going to have to move these. They're tucked under, and then lots of fabulous white coneflower here. Of course, another star of the show is this pink Gulf muley grass. It is so wonderful, and it just has been blooming and blooming and blooming, and I just love it. What else is blooming over here? A little stalwart. It's getting ready to close up. Just little portulaca has been going all summer as well. Again, there's more that blue Cape plumbago. And then another thing that looks really great, this summer, or this fall. Let me get back here so I can show you what this looks like up close. This is called, oh, now I'm forgetting the name of it as I show it to you, but I just bought some more inland sea oats. That's it. And this is a butterfly, host plant. I think it's for little skippers, but it is just this lovely sort of bamboo-ish looking grass. And in the fall, all its seed heads go golden and they just hang over, and it is just as no nonsense. And this is almost complete shade. Look, it's underneath this big old crepe myrtle. So it is just a wonderful plant if you're looking for a grass. It's probably about 3.5 feet tall. And if you're looking for a grass you can grow in the shade, that is a great one. Now, another thing that's going, of course, are zinnias. Any zinnias that are still in the ground are still going strong, and the butterflies and the bees are on those every day. Oh, Mrs. Doubtfire needed to get, hello, Mrs. Hello. Oh, not speaking today. Here's one of the things that's coming out in the fall. This has looked so pitiful. You know, it's just a scruffy little plant all year long. But look at this aster. It's so precious. And I can see, you know, there are little buds all over the place. So next week, I'm hoping this will just be spectacular. The other thing that surprised me was this little ground cover. I think it's called knotweed. Look at that. It is so sweet, pink, and so I can get it in focus better. It's a little ground cover. It bloomed in the spring really nicely, and then it just was green all summer long. And I came out here a couple of days ago, and sure enough, it was all blooming all over again. I didn't expect it to rebloom until the spring. And it has self-seeded around a little bit. It creeps, but it also has self-seeded somewhere over in another part of the yard, you know, 30 feet from here. I have no idea how it got there, but I'm happy it's there. One of the other things that's just been a powerhouse all along, now these are new, but I have one in the front, some in the front yard, these Pentas, that they have bloomed from spring until now. They've never stopped. These are brand new plants, so they're a little bit leggy because I bought them in the middle of the year, or the middle of the fall. But in the front, I've got one that's enormous. And then the other thing I was going to point out that has bloomed non-stop is in pots. I have begonias everywhere, and they have never stopped blooming. They just look wonderful, and I think at least once this year I have cut this back, and you can see it's really leggy, and I may cut it back again, but it looks so pitiful for so long. I'm reluctant to do it, but this has looked good since I got it in probably February or March. And this one also is doing so beautifully. And then this little vinca in pots has done really well, and I added a few more little annuals in here this week. And then another thing that's blooming its head off is shrimp plant, which I have in various colors around the yard, in the front and the backyard. This one, I can't remember the name of it. It's something like Pina Colada, some cute little name, but it's hot pink, almost red. It looks like it's almost turned a little bit red. It's sort of a coral hot pink on a yellowish lime green little bract. And that is just gone crazy out here. And then of course the Turk's cap, which is the red one I don't want, but is too big to dig up, looks great. But also I've got this pink one here, and then over here I've got some more. Climb back out. I've got some more that are sort of a coral peachy pink. They are very sweet, and they just are going gangbusters out here. So pretty, and the butterflies really like these. And then they get these little red fruits. Look how cute that is. It's like the tiniest little apple you've ever seen. Oh, well, there it went. I don't know if there are, I know this will reseed very easily, but I don't know if there are any animals or birds that will eat that. But it's gotten enormous, and it's just blooming beautifully. And here's the sort of traditional sort of, I don't know, kind of red, kind of maroon, kind of coral colored shrimp plant. And it does have sort of the same color little flowers in there. And it's looking better and better. And I have one in the front yard that looks super fantastic right now. My favorite little surprise back here is this Peter's purple monarda spitting out a couple of flowers in October. What the heck? It's wonderful. I now have delusions that the rest of it will bloom, and that would be such a treat. That would be such a treat. And then the last thing that I think in this yard is doing really spectacularly, the one purple hyacinth bean vine that didn't get hit with the aphids is still just going gangbusters. And I've seen hummingbirds. I haven't seen a hummingbird in a couple of days, maybe a week now, but hummingbirds were all over this a couple of weeks ago. And again, I highly recommend it. It's so easy to grow from seed. I'll end on this pretty begonia that also has just been blooming and blooming for months and months. Well, I hope your garden is also blooming and looks terrific this fall. Y'all have a great week. Bye-bye.